Iran has finally secured its spot in BRICS, but can it really thrive in this rapidly evolving alliance? With the 16th BRICS summit set to take place in Russia, the stakes couldn't be higher for Iran. Is BRICS going to be the economic lifeline Iran desperately needs, or will it face even tougher challenges ahead? Stay tuned as we unpack how Iran's future could be shaped by this powerhouse bloc, and the truth might not be what you expect. Iran's entry into BRICS was a major political win for the country, but recent events have drastically changed its political landscape. Following the death of President Ebrahim Raisi in a helicopter crash in May 2024, Iran now finds itself under the leadership of Masoud Pezeshkian, a reformist president. Pezeshkian's election in July 2024 comes at a pivotal moment for Iran, as the country navigates its membership in BRICS and prepares for the 16th BRICS summit in Russia. The big question remains, can Iran survive without BRICS, or will the alliance help the nation overcome its economic isolation and sanctions? Masoud Pezeshkian, known for his reformist policies, represents a shift from the more conservative approach of his predecessor, Raisi. His leadership could play a crucial role in how Iran positions itself within BRICS countries. Pezeshkian has expressed a desire to strengthen Iran's diplomatic relations globally, which aligns well with the country's hope of leveraging BRICS to bypass economic sanctions imposed by the West. His administration sees BRICS as a key to reducing reliance on the US dollar and enhancing trade with major economies like China, Russia, and India. However, Iran's recent political developments, including the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the Hamas leader, in Tehran in July 2024, complicated the country's role in BRICS. Haniyeh's assassination, believed to have been orchestrated by Israel, has heightened tensions in the region. Iran's new president must now balance regional instability with his vision of using BRICS as a tool for greater economic independence. Countries like India and Brazil, which maintain close ties with Western powers and Israel, may be wary of fully aligning with Iran, especially amid rising tensions. The assassination has also raised questions about regional stability and Iran's ability to maintain a constructive role within BRICS. While China and Russia may support Iran's stance, India and South Africa may be more cautious, given their diplomatic relations with Israel and the West. President Masoud Pezeshkian will have to carefully navigate these complex international relations to ensure Iran remains a key player within the alliance. Iran's entry into BRICS was largely driven by its need to find alternatives to Western-dominated financial systems and reduce the impact of sanctions on its economy. Under Pezeshkian's leadership, Iran hopes to increase trade and investments, particularly in the energy sector. Iran's vast oil and gas reserves remain one of its strongest bargaining chips, especially for countries like China and India, which rely heavily on energy imports. Pezeshkian's government is expected to push for stronger trade alliances within BRICS to enhance Iran's economic resilience. However, recent internal and external tensions could complicate Iran's path to economic recovery. While Pezeshkian's reformist approach offers a new direction, Iran must still contend with the challenges posed by its strained regional relations. The BRICS summit in Russia will be a critical moment for Pezeshkian to solidify Iran's role within the alliance and reassure other members of Iran's commitment to cooperation and regional stability. Iran's future within BRICS now largely depends on how well President Masoud Pezeshkian can manage these competing challenges. His reformist policies offer hope for a more diplomatic approach, but recent geopolitical tensions and the assassination of Haniyeh could disrupt Iran's efforts to gain economic independence through BRICS. How Pezeshkian handles these issues will shape Iran's role within the bloc and its broader foreign policy for years to come. As Iran steps into this new chapter under Masoud Pezeshkian's reformist leadership, the stakes couldn't be higher. Can Iran truly harness the power of BRICS to break free from economic isolation, or will the growing regional tensions and internal challenges hold it back? The next moves could define Iran's future within this powerful alliance, and the road ahead is far from certain. Iran's entry into BRICS was seen as a bold move to bypass Western sanctions and reclaim control over its economic independence. But with the dominance of the US dollar still looming large, can Iran really succeed in this goal? As the pressure mounts, the promise of economic relief through BRICS might not be as simple as it seems. Let's dive into the realities of Iran's quest for independence in a world still shaped by Western financial power. Iran's entry into BRICS was driven by one clear objective: to gain greater economic independence in the face of crippling Western sanctions. By aligning itself with economic heavyweights like China, Russia, and India, Iran hoped to bypass the global financial systems dominated by the US dollar and regain control over its trade and economic future. But the road to economic independence is proving to be far more complicated than Iran anticipated, especially as it navigates the intricate dynamics within BRICS. With the US dollar still the world's primary currency for international trade, Iran has found it difficult to fully escape the reach of US sanctions. The hope was that through BRICS, Iran could conduct more trade in local currencies, especially with partners like China and Russia, who have shown a willingness to bypass dollar-based transactions. However, this shift is no small feat. As long as the dollar remains the global standard, the influence of Western powers, particularly the US economy, will continue to be a hurdle for Iran and other BRICS nations. For President Masoud Pezeshkian, a reformist leader who took office in July 2024, BRICS presents both an opportunity and a challenge. Pezeshkian has been vocal about his administration's goal of using BRICS to sidestep economic sanctions and foster stronger trade alliances within the bloc. But even with the support of key BRICS members, the reality of navigating global trade without the dollar is a significant barrier. Iran's economy remains heavily reliant on oil exports, and much of the global energy market still operates within a dollar-based system. One of the central challenges for Iran within BRICS is maintaining consistent trade with fellow BRICS members like India and Brazil, both of whom maintain strong economic ties with Western powers. While Iran has pushed for more BRICS countries to trade in local currencies, the economic pressure from the US and Europe makes it difficult for some BRICS members to fully embrace this strategy. The fear of secondary sanctions has kept nations like India from fully committing to trade with Iran outside of the US-dominated financial systems. The 16th BRICS summit in Russia will be critical for Iran's next steps. President Masoud Pezeshkian will need to use this platform to push for more practical solutions that can help Iran reduce its dependency on the dollar while strengthening its economic ties with BRICS members. This summit presents a unique opportunity for Iran to position itself as a key player in shaping the bloc's foreign policy, especially around the issue of economic sanctions. Iran's ability to achieve true economic independence through BRICS will also depend on how the bloc handles its internal dynamics. Russia and China, both of whom face their own sanctions and economic challenges, are likely to support Iran's push for a de-dollarized trading system. However, the internal cohesion of BRICS will be tested as some members, like South Africa and Brazil, balance their relationships with the West while participating in BRICS' efforts to challenge global financial structures. For Iran, the stakes couldn't be higher. With its economy still under strain from decades of sanctions, the promise of BRICS offers a potential lifeline. The question now is whether Iran can truly use this alliance to reshape its trade relations and achieve the economic independence it seeks, or if the continued dominance of the US dollar and global sanctions will keep Iran in a state of economic uncertainty. President Masoud Pezeshkian is aware of the delicate balancing act required. As a reformist, he is pushing for more engagement with the international community while staying firm on reducing Iran's reliance on Western financial institutions. Iran's future within BRICS and its broader global ambitions will depend on how effectively it can leverage its membership in the bloc to forge new paths toward economic independence. Iran's battle for economic independence through BRICS is just getting started, but with the US dollar still dominating global trade, the challenges are immense. Can Iran truly break free from the grip of Western sanctions, or will the promises of BRICS fall short? The next steps will define the future of Iran's economy within this powerful alliance, and it's far from a smooth road ahead. Iran's got one huge advantage, its oil and gas reserves. As one of the world's biggest energy players, you'd think Iran would be set for success within BRICS, right? But here's the catch. Competition is fierce, and global energy markets are changing fast. Can Iran really use its energy power to secure major trade alliances in BRICS? Or is it about to face a tougher battle than it expected? Let's dive into Iran's energy game plan and see if it can come out on top in this high-stakes race. Iran's oil and gas reserves are among the largest in the world, making its energy sector the country's most valuable asset. With an estimated 209 billion barrels of oil and 203 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, Iran ranks third globally for oil and second for natural gas. These resources are at the center of Iran's strategy as it navigates its place within BRICS countries, a powerful economic bloc that includes energy-hungry nations like China and India. For Iran, this is an opportunity to establish key trade alliances and bypass the restrictions imposed by Western economic sanctions. Iran's participation in BRICS offers a potential lifeline to its struggling economy. By joining the alliance, Iran hopes to use its vast energy reserves to increase exports and secure long-term partnerships with fellow BRICS members. President Masoud Pezeshkian is pushing for more trade within BRICS using local currencies, which would allow Iran to reduce its reliance on the US dollar and ease the impact of US and European sanctions. China in particular represents a key market for Iranian oil and gas, and Pezeshkian sees this as a crucial part of Iran's plan to regain economic independence and strengthen its international relations. However, Iran faces significant challenges, especially from within BRICS itself. Russia, another major energy exporter, is a direct competitor. Russia's strong foothold in the Chinese and European energy markets makes it a dominant player, and Iran must work hard to carve out its own niche. The upcoming 16th BRICS summit in Russia will be a critical moment for Iran to showcase its energy potential and secure key trade alliances. Both Russia and China have already established energy partnerships, and Iran will need to find creative ways to position itself as an essential energy provider within the bloc. Iran's oil and gas reserves are an undeniable asset, but the country's energy infrastructure has suffered from years of neglect. Sanctions have limited Iran's access to the technologies and investments it needs to fully capitalize on its resources. Despite investing $80 billion to modernize its gas fields, Iran has struggled to keep up with its BRICS counterparts. The South Pars gas field, which accounts for 75% of Iran's gas production, has faced delays in development, putting pressure on Iran to quickly improve its infrastructure if it hopes to meet the demands of China and India. For Iran, the stakes are high. The country's economic future hinges on its ability to compete within BRICS and secure more favorable trade alliances. If Iran can leverage its vast energy resources effectively, it stands a chance of regaining some control over its economy. However, it will need to overcome its internal challenges, namely outdated infrastructure and the limitations imposed by sanctions, to compete with Russia's established pipelines and energy network. The broader BRICS bloc presents both opportunities and risks for Iran's foreign policy and regional stability. While South Africa and Brazil are looking to diversify their energy imports, both nations are cautious about fully embracing Iranian oil and gas due to their diplomatic ties with the West. This cautious stance could hinder Iran's ability to form robust trade alliances within the group, despite the country's energy potential. Additionally, ongoing geopolitical tensions, particularly in the Middle East, complicate Iran's efforts to secure stable, long-term partnerships. At the heart of Iran's strategy is the hope that BRICS can provide a platform to reduce its reliance on Western financial systems and challenge the dominance of the US dollar in global trade. By trading in local currencies with BRICS members, Iran aims to reduce the impact of sanctions and stabilize its economy. Yet the competition with Russia and the country's need for infrastructure development are serious obstacles that could undermine these efforts and affect the overall BRICS impact on Iran. As the BRICS summit draws near, all eyes are on Iran to see if it can successfully leverage its energy resources to strengthen its position within the bloc. The potential for Iran to become a key energy supplier within BRICS is there, but the challenges are immense. How Iran navigates these issues, both internally and within BRICS, will determine whether it can truly secure the economic independence it has long sought. With its vast energy reserves and a key role in BRICS, Iran seems poised for success, but the competition is fierce, and the obstacles are daunting. Can Masoud Pezeshkian lead the country to economic independence? Or will internal struggles and external pressures hold Iran back? The race is heating up, and what happens next at the BRICS summit could change everything. Stay tuned, because the stakes couldn't be higher for Iran's future in this powerful alliance. Iran's entry into BRICS wasn't just about trade, it was also about reshaping its global image and playing a bigger role in international relations. But as tensions rise and alliances shift, the question is, can Iran use BRICS to redefine its foreign policy and secure more regional stability? Or will its growing conflicts make things even harder? Let's dig into how Iran's role in BRICS could influence its standing in the region and on the global stage. Iran's entry into BRICS was not only a move to boost its economy, but also a strategic decision to reshape its foreign policy and gain more influence in global international relations. For years, Iran has been politically isolated, largely due to its contentious relationship with the West and ongoing economic sanctions. By joining BRICS, Iran hopes to shift away from that isolation and present itself as a key player in both the Middle East and the broader global order. However, the path ahead is complex, and Iran faces significant challenges as it tries to balance its internal issues with its ambitions on the world stage. With the 16th BRICS summit in Russia fast approaching, Iran is positioning itself to play a larger role in the alliance's foreign policy discussions. President Masoud Pezeshkian has been focused on using BRICS to gain leverage in both economic and diplomatic arenas, looking for ways to solidify Iran's standing in a world where global alliances are shifting. The stakes are particularly high for Iran, which has been under the weight of sanctions for decades and seeks to form new trade alliances within BRICS that could give it an edge over its geopolitical rivals. One of Iran's key goals is to use BRICS as a platform to improve regional stability in the Middle East. Iran's relationships with its neighbors, particularly Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Israel, have long been fraught with tension. By aligning with powerful BRICS members like China and Russia, Iran hopes to reduce its reliance on confrontational tactics and increase its diplomatic influence. At the same time, Iran is pushing to play a central role in BRICS's broader foreign policy, hoping to use its alliances within the group to strengthen its hand in dealing with Western powers, especially the US. However, the road to achieving regional stability and improving Iran's international relations is far from smooth. While BRICS offers a promising platform for Iran to engage with global powers, internal conflicts within the bloc could hamper Iran's ambitions. India and Brazil, both key BRICS members, maintain close ties with Western nations, particularly the US, which complicates Iran's efforts to push an anti-Western agenda. Additionally, rising tensions between Iran and Israel, especially after the recent assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, make it difficult for Iran to present itself as a stabilizing force in the region. Another challenge Iran faces within BRICS is how to balance its goals of achieving economic independence with the need for diplomatic cooperation. Iran's foreign policy has traditionally been marked by resistance to Western influence, but within BRICS, Iran will need to navigate more nuanced relationships. While countries like Russia and China might be more aligned with Iran's anti-Western stance, South Africa and Brazil may push for more moderate approaches, focusing on trade over political confrontation. This internal division within BRICS could slow down Iran's progress and force it to recalibrate its approach approach to international diplomacy. In terms of its foreign policy, Iran is also working to strengthen its international relations through energy diplomacy. As a major player in the global oil and gas market, Iran is using its vast energy resources as a bargaining tool to secure influence within BRICS. The country's leadership hopes that by offering favorable energy deals to BRICS nations, Iran can gain more diplomatic support, particularly in its push to reduce reliance on the US dollar in international trade. The BRICS impact on Iran's regional strategy will become more evident as the alliance continues to evolve. The upcoming BRICS summit will be critical in determining how Iran integrates its foreign policy objectives with the bloc's broader agenda. Masoud Pezeshkian will need to carefully navigate the complex dynamics within BRICS to ensure that Iran can use its membership to secure both regional stability and a more favorable position in global international relations. As Iran looks ahead, its role within BRICS could either strengthen its hand in global diplomacy or expose its vulnerabilities. How Iran balances its domestic challenges, regional conflicts, and the competing interests of BRICS members will determine whether the country can truly reshape its foreign policy and gain the international relations support it so desperately seeks. Iran's push to reshape its foreign policy through BRICS is just beginning, but the challenges ahead are enormous. Can Masoud Pezeshkian navigate the internal divisions within the bloc, secure regional stability, and strengthen international relations? Or will these ambitions get lost in the power struggles within BRICS? The upcoming BRICS summit could make or break Iran's diplomatic strategy, and the results might surprise you. Iran's future in BRICS doesn't just depend on diplomacy and trade, it's also about survival in a shifting global order. Can Iran hold its ground as one of the rising powers in BRICS, or will internal pressures and fierce competition push it to the sidelines? With the BRICS summit fast approaching, the decisions made here could either elevate Iran's status or leave it scrambling to keep up. Stick around. This could be a turning point for Iran's role in global politics. As Iran steps into BRICS, the stakes couldn't be higher. With economic sanctions still strangling its economy, Iran sees BRICS as a lifeline. An opportunity to bypass the US dollar and form key trade alliances with major economies like China and Russia. As President Masoud Pezeshkian gears up for the 16th BRICS summit in October 2024, the pressure is on to prove that Iran's membership will deliver tangible benefits and not just political posturing. One of Iran's main goals is to challenge the global dominance of the US dollar. Iranian officials have repeatedly emphasized using BRICS as a platform to encourage trade in local currencies, hoping this will help Iran reduce its dependency on dollar-dominated systems. This could be a crucial step towards stabilizing its battered currency, which has seen a staggering 12-fold devaluation since 2018. Iran is banking on China and Russia to support this push, but not all BRICS members are fully on board. Countries like India and Brazil have strong trade ties with the West, making them more cautious about fully embracing Iran's vision of de-dollarization. With secondary sanctions from the US looming over them, these countries are likely to approach any deals with Iran carefully. This internal divide could slow Iran's progress, limiting its ability to make the sweeping changes it seeks within BRICS. Energy, however, is where Iran hopes to make its mark. With some of the world's largest oil and gas reserves, Iran is looking to solidify its position as a key energy supplier to BRICS nations. The country is especially focused on expanding Iran energy exports to China, one of its most important trading partners. Despite ongoing US sanctions, increased energy exports within BRICS could bring much-needed investments into Iran's outdated infrastructure, which has suffered from years of underfunding. But there are significant hurdles. Iran remains on the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, blacklist, making international transactions and business with other BRICS nations more difficult. Despite the potential energy deals, conducting international trade under such restrictions presents a real challenge. Without significant financial reforms or changes in its nuclear policy, Iran may find it hard to fully benefit from its BRICS membership. Iran's foreign policy aspirations are tied to BRICS as well. The nation sees this alliance as a chance to bolster its diplomatic efforts and shift global power dynamics away from Western dominance. However, the geopolitical tensions Iran faces, particularly related to its missile program, remain a thorn in the side of its ambitions. These tensions, coupled with FATF restrictions, complicate Iran's path forward in BRICS. As the BRICS summit approaches, Iran's future within the bloc will be tested. Can it secure the trade alliances and investments it desperately needs to revive its Iran economy? Or will internal BRICS tensions and external geopolitical conflicts hold it back? What's certain is that the decisions made at this summit could either elevate Iran's role or leave it struggling to stay afloat. Iran's next moves within BRICS will be critical. The country is banking on this alliance to drive much-needed economic reform and regional stability, but with so many moving parts, the future is anything but guaranteed. How Masoud Pezeshkian navigates these challenges will define Iran's place in this evolving global landscape. Iran's entry into BRICS marks a critical turning point, but the real question is, can it truly leverage this opportunity for economic and diplomatic gain? As tensions rise and alliances shift, Iran's future within the bloc hangs in the balance. Will the upcoming BRICS summit strengthen its position, or will internal and external pressures derail its ambitions? The decisions made in the coming months could reshape Iran's global standing. Stay tuned, because the stakes have never been higher.